So we are here with Dr. Nathan Stucky, and Dr. Stucky, we are so glad to be with you today to speak about your research related to the ideas of rest. And you gave us a beautiful presentation on that a few weeks ago. Thank you so much for that.
Sure.
So glad to have you. Can
Yeah,
you,
glad to be with you.
awesome. Can you speak to what sparked your interest in this topic in the first place and what the theological basis is behind focusing on rest?
Hmm. Of course. So it's actually difficult to pinpoint a moment or even a season of life when the topic of rest sort of came to the fore. But I do have a childhood memory growing up in Kansas in a farming community. And we had a neighbor who farmed a couple miles down. And this neighbor had a reputation for being a little bit out there, and the reason he earned this reputation was that he would only farm from 8 to 5, and his philosophy was, if you can't get the work done between 8 and 5, you're trying to do too much.
Mm.
And I just remember that being like paradigm shifting, even as a 10 or 11 or 12 or however old I was when I first heard that. And I think there was a seed that was planted there, just sort of provoking the question about what are our assumptions about work and rest, and what makes for good work or good rest. And then I remember, fast forward, I remember being in college, and sort of this question, at that point in my life, faith was very much a priority for me. And this question of like, how do you balance schoolwork with the journey of faith or discipleship? Um, and, again, just thinking about what that looks like. And then, of course, spending 6 years as a youth pastor was, that kind of puts it all front and center. And before I accepted this
That was
job,
very restful, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But while I was interviewing for this job to be a youth pastor, Merv Stoltzfus, to whom the book is dedicated, interviewed interviewed me as part of this, and was just basically, again, provoking the same question, like, what will it look like to set boundaries around work? And I think that's a sort of a proto-Sabbath kind of a question. So and then it just kept going in seminary. You get to seminary, and in some ways it's more acute there because there's this temptation to really park your identity in your GPA or your good ideas or your degree. So I think it's this persistent sense that it gets to the theological piece, which is this persistent sense that to park our identity in our work, primarily in our work, is to misplace our identity. It's to park it in the wrong place. And then the exploration of the Sabbath kind of provided language around that, which, I would say now that through the Sabbath, God invites us to an identity that is that makes room for good work, but insists that the starting point of our identity is that we are God's beloved children, and that's just a gift. And it's an extraordinary grace. It changes everything, and it challenges a lot of our assumptions, which, ironically enough, makes the whole notion of rest and Sabbath sometimes really hard work.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah.